Carrie Vance backstage at the Sirius XM Music Lounge with Tydi.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. You're doing better.
I'm increasingly getting better.
See, but you're smart. You're the first artist we've sat with that has a drink, keeping cool, because it is hot out here.
Either really smart or really dumb. Let's see how this ends, huh?
Well, as long as you don't dehydrate, you'll be okay.
And I don't have to play a show just yet, so it's okay. Yeah.
So now, originally from Australia.
Yeah.
Where do you live now?
I live in LA. I moved to, I was actually touring America for the last 5 years, and the commute is pretty brutal from Australia to LA. It's about 14 hours, and I found myself doing the 14-hour trip every 2 weeks. So I would fly out 14 hours, then I would do 8 shows in 8 nights, come back, have a week off, and then fly back to America. And I just thought, what am I doing? Like, I got to be in LA. So I moved out, and I'm loving it. I love the people and the culture, and I think most of all, the being surrounded by musicians is inspiring, and it's just, yeah, it's great.
What's the biggest difference between Australia and LA?
I mean, probably the biggest difference would be the girls are cuter and nicer here.
You know, I was going to say in Australia.
No, in America, I think it could be the accent though. When I bet you didn't expect this in your interview. No, I think, like, you know, if I go to a girl in a bar in Australia and I went, hey, I'd like to get you a drink, she'd be like, you know, if I come into LA, the accent seems to have some sort of thing going, so I can't lose my Australian accent, mate.
Now, small T, small Y, capital D, small I.
Yeah, everything small except for the big D. Now, I know you're going to ask why.
I don't think I want to ask why.
Well, the funny answer is usually, well, I've got a big D. But that's kind of narcissistic. So, no, the real reason is when I was about 16, I entered a DJ competition, and my name was spelled Tidy, like the way you should spell it. But they had a typo, and they spelt it like the way it is now, and I won the competition. And being 16 and stupid, I thought, well, I can't change it now. I've just won a DJ competition. Like, people are going to know me in this city of 50 people. Not really thinking that my career might take me around the world. So I've kept the DJ name, and yeah.
Now, your current single is called Redefined. It's blowing up all over radio.
I'm super excited about that. It's the title track from my album. Album took me 3 years to make, which sounds crazy, but I honestly wrote about 300 songs to get to the finished project, and the title track for it to be #1 on BPM last week just is crazy. I teared up a little bit.
Now it features Melanie Fantana and also Nova Space.
Yeah, absolutely. Melanie is a really good friend of mine. She's a crazy writer. Some of the tracks that I've done with her, I've done a few records with her. One called Nothing Really Matters, and another one called Candles that we haven't released yet. But her voice is big. Like, it's incredible. Yeah.
Now your previous single was Stay.
Stay? Yeah, Dia Frampton. She's beautiful as well. She was the runner-up on The Voice, and for that track she had that kind of like folky, I don't want to say country, but just that beautiful vibe, and such a sweet person. Doing a record with her is incredible.
Now what else can we look forward to on the album?
Well, the album's out. It's got 20 tracks, and if you like Redefined, then definitely get the album, because it's there's a lot of stuff. I think the thing about Redefined as an album is that every song is different. And I mean that, like, you won't find one song that sounds like another on that record. There's ballads, there's tech tracks, progressive tracks, there's pop tracks, there's like everything I could possibly have covered is on there. So it's a really diverse record, and I've got some crazy stuff coming out this year as well. So yeah.
And you're doing a lot of touring?
Too much touring for my own good. I'm playing about 150, maybe even more shows a year. So I'm on and off planes every single day of my life, and in between that, working in the studio. But I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's the best job in the world, and I love it.
So with 150 gigs a year,
yeah,
is there something you travel with that keeps you sane?
Oh, I lost my sanity a long time ago, man. No, my laptop is kind of what keeps me sane. But like when I'm not writing music, I'm watching movies or something on the flights. But there's not much you can do about that many flights a year. It's pretty out of control. So, yeah.
Is there a favorite city or a favorite venue that you love to DJ at?
Oh, you're gonna put me in a. That's a good question. You know, I love playing in Seattle. The crowd there goes crazy, but I mean, I could list 100 for you. You know, Hawaii's insane. I think the real answer would be, I mean, they're all real answers, but the one that really connects with me is any show by the beach. I grew up in a small beachy town in Australia to maybe a population of a couple 100,000, and my life was writing music and going to the beach. So when I play shows in Miami right now, you know, if I wake up and I hear waves crashing, it's just beautiful. I love it.
So growing up in Australia, was there anybody that was like an inspiration for you that got you into music?
You're going to find this answer weird, I think, but a lot of my inspirations were bands. Like, I've got a Blink-182 tattoo going on right here as evidence of this answer. But yeah, my favorite bands like The Used, Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard Confessional was my favorite band. He's actually on my album, on Redefine. So I grew up when I was like 15, I remember making out with girls in cars to music by Dashboard Confessional, and never thought the day would come where I would be able to say, hey dude, like, do you want to be on my record? And he said to me, I love your music, I'm a huge fan. So to have that whole kind of, just like when you've followed someone your whole life, and then they come back and say that they're a fan of my music, it was just an incredible moment. So yeah, we did a record called The Closer I Get, and it's another one that's just like, it's not dance, it's like electronica crossed with his kind of screaming style, and it's just a beautiful track. Sound like I'm blowing my own records up here.
That's all good.
The album's shit. I don't know if I can swear here.
You can swear? So, speaking of cars, so we're in LA, I'm in a car with you, we're driving on the 405, it's not moving, you plug in your iPod, your iPhone, what 3 songs am I going to hear in your car that might surprise me?
That would surprise you right now? An indie band that probably, there's a new band called Handsome Ghost. I don't know how new they are, but a friend showed me their EP just recently. And also this Jordan from the Ready Set, a huge fan of his, and I was in a bar last night and his song came on the radio. He's a great kid and he's on my record as well. We did a track together called Die This Way. So I think the main thing that would surprise you is that when we if we were driving and stuck in traffic, I'd probably put on bands more than dance music, and that's, I think, because I listen to dance music so much in clubs. Like every single night I'm in a club playing dance music, so when I'm outside of the club environment, I like to listen to electronica.
Okay, so
to bands.
There you go. I stumped you there.
Ballads.
If you weren't DJing tonight, weren't in the studio, and you can go see any artist perform, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably Blink-182 right now, because they've just switched the lead vocalist from Tom DeLonge to Matt Skiba, and I want to see how that is. But yeah, I mean, if I was to see a DJ, I'd love to see BT, or maybe like one of the techno guys like Steve Lawler and Richie Houghton, because not because I want to do that genre myself, but because I like to hear DJs play music that I don't know. Like if I go to a DJ set and I know every song they play, it's not as exciting for me because I know the records. So I like to see DJs who surprise me. And I don't know if I'm slamming your interview here, but in my DJ sets, that's what I go for as well. I like to do these 3-hour extended sets so that, because I think a huge part of DJing, it's not about playing all the hits. I mean, if I'm up there for an hour and all I play is hit after hit after hit, why am I not just a big giant iPod plugged into an auxiliary cable? Like, what's the point of my job? People pay me to fly around the world to play music. I'd like to give them something that they haven't heard before. So I do these 3-hour sets, and I like to play songs that people walk away going, like, what was that track? That was beautiful. I want to know what it was, and they may never find out. But I think that is the beauty of DJing. It's track selection, as well as playing your own songs that people know. But yeah.
Now there's a charity element to what you do as well, correct? You're involved. Are you involved with a charity?
Yeah. I just did an EP called The Promise, and it's got an interesting story. It stemmed from hatred, like not from my hatred, but haters to me. When I started making songs like Stay and Redefined, and they're a little more on the pop end of things, which is a good thing because I love pop. You know, I listen to Taylor Swift. I mean, don't shoot me, everybody. But no, I love pop music, and I started making some songs that kind of had that poppy vibe crossed with electronic music. And it was just because that's what I was feeling at the time. And a lot of my fans came at me and they were saying, you know, you suck. Why aren't you making trance? We like trance music. So I said, all right, guys, I'll make a trance EP for you, but you're gonna buy it, not pirate it. and I'm going to donate all the money to charity. So I chose Pencils of Promise. They help build schools for children in developing countries, and all the proceeds, I don't make a cent from it, so everything goes to this charity. You can donate to it, and the full EP is on iTunes right now, and it's for that.
And the name of the EP again is?
It's called The Promise. So it came out after Redefined, and I whipped it together in probably 2 months, but it's really going well. It's one of those things that kind of, haters came at me, and I spun it around on them and thought, all right, fine, I'll do it for you, but you have to...
Everybody go out and buy the EP. Last question. Yep. Again, we're in LA, or maybe we're back home. Maybe we're back. No, that's cool. We can do that too. Maybe we're back home in Australia.
Yeah.
What's a restaurant to go get a really great meal?
Okay, in the whole of Australia, I would say go to... That's a huge question. You know what you need to do in Australia, honestly? Go to somewhere like a small beachy town and go to a seafood market where it's just come fresh off a boat, and get oysters, because you won't get oysters in America like you can in Australia. And I mean, America has amazing things, some of the best wines, some of the best Chardonnays I've ever had are from here. But when it comes to oysters, I think Australia is the king at that. And also maybe red wine.
Well, we thank you for your time, and we wish you continued success this year.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the interview.
Thank you.